Kids aren't used to having this much agency in the classroom. They kind of like being told what to do in some cases. The biggest barrier is that we found that there were a lot of skills that kids didn't have yet, and they had to be given strategies, which was awesome for me as a teacher to be able to say, hey, let me teach you how to learn anything. Here's one of the structures that I use is the mantra. So when we reach an obstacle or when we get stuck, it's the thing that we say to reframe and to refocus, because they have to be able to guide themselves back when they get off track.
So for me, I wrote, use your time wisely, don't procrastinate. I'm someone that procrastinates a lot, and I realized after setting goals and writing mantras, it actually has lessened my stress. It's like when you read it, you have to realize, hey, I need to get this done. I need to use my time wisely so that I can, do this and actually get it done.
So we do that in our classroom by writing them on the desk or on our goal sheet so they can constantly reference back to them.
Look at the bigger picture is my mantra today, because I want to see all the sides to that one point.
Mine's you can do hard things. The Great Wall of China wasn't built in a day. And just to me, that means yeah, everything has its own pace, but you can accomplish a good end product even if it takes some time.
And they're useful for me as a teacher too, because when I go and engage with them and I see them get stuck, I usually just spit the mantra right back at them as you got this, and then we can start our conference in a positive frame of mind.
Okay, I want you guys to all be working on an assignment, and then when you get to a problem, I want you to think what would have been the first thing that you would have done.
The 3B before T rule is that students will use 3 Bs before they ask the teacher a question. Those 3 Bs stand for their brains, their book, or a link on the internet, and or their buddy. So when we first began class at the beginning of the year, I did a role playing with the students where I had students come up and role play the wrong way to gather information.
So raise your hands and say, Mrs. Larson. So what would I have to do? Okay, but how many people can I talk to at once? One. So I'm gonna start with her, because she's the sweetest one, right? But then she has lots of questions. So how long is it gonna take for Isaac to get his answer? What's Isaac gonna be doing while he's waiting for me? Fortnite or something, right? I don't know, is that cool?
And every time they had a question, they raised their hand and would say, teacher, teacher, teacher. And students began to see the holes that were within that system.
How many of you felt helped?
So then I had different students come up and model the right way. And as students had questions, some students reported that they used their brain and looked back at previous information that we had discussed in class. Other students used their book or an online resource. They were able to get the answer to their question and move forward. And the last was students were able to talk to a peer or a buddy. And that discussion helped them facilitate what information it was that they needed.
Yeah, so on one of these questions, when we were watching this video, I didn't catch the answer. And so I think it was question 3 or something like that. And so when I didn't catch it, he had written it down. So I asked him, I was like, hey, can you rerun the video or let me know where I can find the answer? And so he rerun the video and kind of explained the answer to me because I didn't exactly understand the whole thing. So I used my buddy to help me figure it out. That's right.
And then I explained to students that if you've reached all 3 of those resources and you still don't understand, that's when you can come to me.
By us not going immediately to the teachers helps us develop our own sources, how we can find tools, how to understand information ourselves without immediately going up for help.
When working with students in a high agency environment, many times when they are stuck, we go back to the checklist of habits to identify specific behaviors that they can work on to address the struggle that they are working with. A checklist of habits is a practical list of behaviors that students can consult when they are struggling. For example, we may identify that they're struggling with staying on track in their timeline. Another example could be that a student has not accessed peers. So students can specifically look at that list, identify that that's the behavior they're going to work on, and then set their SMART goal around that.